I think you'd be surprised to find out that voting in Washington State is actually not that easy. It's really a complex process that requires a lot of attention. This can be discouraging to voters that want to participate in local or national democracy, and it can be especially deterring for people who are new voters. I am a new voter myself, and I felt like the process was quite complicated. I'm sure you've heard about the election and know about the presidential seat that's open right now. There are a lot of nerves, and anticipation is high on what is gonna come from this. So if you so feel called to participate, now is the time to cast your ballots, because the presidential election is on November 3rd. If you would like to, I'm going to show you a little bit about how to vote and voter registration, as well as making a voting plan, casting your ballot, and returning your ballot. So this is an exciting voter journey if you stick with me. The most important thing is registration. Registering to vote is due by October 26th, which has come and gone. And October 26th, that's backed up by Washington State Voter Registration Online, which is the official website for this year's 2020. What's really cool is that you can register online, and staying home is especially important right now when we're all in the middle of a pandemic and we are quarantined. Also, as students, fellow college students, I'm sure you can appreciate that we get to stay home. I know we are busy and have a lot of schoolwork and work and families' lives, cats, whatever. It's nice. So you have no excuse to not register to vote. But I'm not telling you to do it. I don't care either way. And there's only a few qualifications. You need to be 18 years of age. You need to be a U.S. citizen. You need to not have any felonies or trouble with the law that withholds you from voting. You want to have your ID or your driver's license for Washington State. If you don't have those, you're going to want to have your social security card. And you're probably going to want to have your phone number, birthday, and current address ready. You also want to make a voting plan, which is super important because there's a whole bunch of details and deadlines associated with voting. So it's really important to be organized. And you also don't want to forget anything. So whatever method you want to use, scratch down a couple notes, sticky notes, make a plan on your paper, agenda, whatever. Draw it on the mirror. You're going to want to pay attention to dates, rules, and locations. So dates, super important. Every state's dates vary, and if you have a bunch of things due, they're not going to be all on the same date. So you got to go check online and write that down. Also, rules and instructions, super important that you follow them and read everything carefully, because if you don't, your ballot might get disqualified, and then all that work that you've done for nothing. So also, you're going to want to write down locations for voter drop-off boxes. There's plenty of them in whatever area that you're at. And also, if you use the mail, you can do that, but you have to postmark it 7 days before the election, November 3rd. So make your voter plan. It's kind of fun. Just go ahead and do it. Do it. I dare you. So check your registration is really important. So make sure everything has tied up well and that your ballot is going to be sent in. So when your ballot is sent, then you just wait. So then you get to go check the mailbox when it comes in, and you complete your ballot. That's the important part. I mean, you know, every one of these 3 steps is super important. If you don't do one of them, it doesn't happen. So Carefully examine your ballot. When you get it, it's gonna look like this. And I've actually pulled out the continents because I have it, but carefully slide here so you don't damage any of the information. And then when you get it, you're gonna wanna examine all of the continents. So here we have our ballot. We have our security sleeve. We have our voting instructions, which is the most important thing because you need to pay attention to every piece of this. And then your return mail ballot. So you're going to want to have studied the candidates and know who you're voting for. And then you can use a little black pen to fill in the bubbles. And when you're done with that, you're going to wrap her up and stick her in the security sleeve so that no one sees through the envelopes. We're getting tricky here. Into the security sleeve. And then you will use the return mail ballot and stick the security sleeve and your ballot inside of it. I'm going to just pretend that I did that. And then, really important, you're going to want to double check that this information is filled out on the return envelope and you have signed your name here. That's your signature saying this is your ballot. And that's what you want. So signing your name on back is super important, and this is according to the official election ballot by mail. So you're going to want to return your voter information to a drop-off box after you register and make a voting plan and do your ballot. So last step, make your voice count. Things happen and people are procrastinators naturally sometimes. So it would be really important for you to do your ballot as soon as you get it. And then when you do, seal it up. Don't lick it though, because COVID. Use tape or something. Put sticky notes, write a reminder, put it in your schedule, and just say, hey, this needs to happen. Put it by the door, put it in your car, or get up and leave right now and take it and go do it, because the likeliness of you ending up turning it in or voting as time goes on is less likely. So also leave room for the unexpected. Life happens and you never know if something's going to turn up, and then you might not have time to take it out. So the earlier you can vote, the better it is, because then it's just out of your way and there won't ever be a time stress. Follow through and don't procrastinate. It's really good advice with everything. Then you're going to also want to find your ballot Dropbox locations, and if you have done your voter plan, then on there you'll have different locations that you could choose from. So find a way to get there, whether it's a car or a bus or your feet. There's no excuses in this world. I don't have a car and I walk on my Lamborghinis, so it works. Mailboxes you can also use if postmarked by the specific date. So all in all, you see that there are lots of pieces to this puzzle. I don't know if this makes you want to get out and go run and vote, but American voting is an extensive process and it's complicated, but it is worth it to be a part of a democracy where your voice matters, however you may vote. And if you register to vote and make a voting plan, fully and carefully complete your ballot, and finally return your ballot in the right box or by the correct date, then you will be able to have said that, hey, look, I did something a part of our American voting system and government. Hey, look, great, politics, yay! And making the process clear, inspiring organization, and hoping that the voting process goes smoothly for you is what I'd like to have happen. Thank you very much.